Hello, this is Floating 2, and I'm Zach B, and I'm joined with Sammy M.
Hello. Thank you for having
And
me.
we've got, that's all good, and we've got a Kano v Kano mirror match for round one of tonight's CC game.
Round one, Kano Mirror.
It's going to be a bit of a hectic game,
A
and
little bit
probably not,
hectic.
yeah, it's probably going to be shorter than the 50-minute timer that we run here.
It feels so cursing, a 30 HP and 30 HP life total in a CC game.
Yeah,
That
we
feels
used to seeing,
extremely cursed.
yeah, we're used to seeing 40 HP on both sides, and we've got Gavin on the right and Callum on the left, both playing Kano. A bit of difference between the headpieces. Gavin's running Talismanic and Callum's running Ragamuffins, but otherwise the stock standard equipment for Kano players with Fiendals, Metacarpus, and Stormstriders.
Alright, we see Gavin here rolling a 10 and Callum rolling a 6. So now we're just waiting to see what Gavin decides to do if he would like to go first or second. Gavin being the more experienced Kano player, having quite some success in our local, pulling off a victory with CC Kano. However, Callum just decided to rock up with the CC Kano list because he knows our local hates Kano.
He wanted to join in the toxicity of playing Kano.
Oh,
He
100%,
knows.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, what can I
And
say?
This will be interesting to see who wants to go first because it's pretty coin flipping matchup.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially how someone can actually die turn one with the right
Yeah.
setup.
I think that's what it's going to come down to. Whoever draws better hands,
Yeah, it
really.
is very top deck heavy. I feel like this matchup. This is coming from someone with very little Kano knowledge, I must say.
That is true. I mean, I've played a lot of Kano and Blitz, but
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's not that close to a CC.
Okay. Well, with your knowledge of Kano, can you explain why, like the whole tech with the Ragamuffins hat?
I personally have never run it, but I think when you're down to your last card and you can like pitch for Kano, you can add it onto the stack of Kano. So if you've got a red card in your hand, and you can chuck it on the top if you're floating resources. And it looks like Gav he won the roll dice and decided to go second,
Okay.
which is interesting.
Honestly, because Callum is so new to Kano, I honestly thought he was swinging with a weapon, to be honest. And I was like, this is surely not.
So Callum just swinging for 4 arcane here with a reverberate, and because it did 1 damage, he can banish a card that costs 1 or less, and he's done a Tome of the Aetherwind and chosen to draw 2 off of that.
What great value of that card. Playing that at instant speed and
Yeah,
being able to draw two.
draw 2 does feel pretty nice. Allows you to try and draw into more blues for pitching for Kano, and even just setting up your arsenal slot for a setup turn.
Oh, for sure. So, with Kano's equipment, how much Arcane Barrier does he run with his natural set? With the
So
Metacarpus node and Stormstriders?
Stormstriders has Arcane Barrier 2, I believe, and Metacarpus
Okay.
has Arcane Barrier 1. So you can still block 3, but it does allow Crucible of Ironwave to go over the top for 4 damage,
Okay. And then Gavin
which is a
deciding to have his pop-off turn a little bit. Decided to do
top
Kano
deck.
things.
Top deck's a blue snapback, plays it. Callum's going to be pitching to block it.
Uh,
And then a red snapback for the hand, so that's coming in for 3 damage. And that's fully blocked.
and forcing almost every single card from Callum's hand. Almost so, allows him to set up with an Arsenal card. And both players are drawing up for turn one.
And that was a good time, being able to draw 2 to be able to pay for the arcane barrier and then also get an arsenal slot, which is pretty smart.
Oh yeah.
Preserving your HP is very important. So red stir into lessons and lava, so that's gonna be coming in for 6. And he's gonna be able to
Sick.
shoot off for whatever he wants because he's only got arcane barrier 3. So there's at least 3 damage going through
Yeah.
from Gavin onto Callum.
And what do you think could search for if that was a hit? What?
It's depending on how Gavin wants to play this matchup, you could search for a lot of different things. If he's got a
Okay.
blue card in hand, you could search for like gaze,
Okay.
um, so that he can put it to the top,
Yeah,
and banish it, and then play it as an instant, and then opt, and then it goes back to his hand for a blue card, so
allowing
he
him to
can
use
set
his
up his
Kano
deck.
ability. Yeah, set
Yeah,
up.
or even just set up.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what Gavin chooses to search for here.
3 damage.
Put on
Yeah,
top.
3 damage did leak through. Also forcing 2 cards out of Callum's hand to pitch for that 3.
Yeah.
That's honestly
Oh,
something you'd like to
that's-
see if you were Gavin. Forcing cards.
This is a big tempo play. Gavin's decided to go with a Simmering Foresight red off of the Lessons of Lava. And I think this is a high value card, Simmering Foresight.
Oh, for sure.
It's
That's
got
the
a-
one that allows him to opt 4, doesn't it?
It's opt 3,
Opt
and you can
3,
play
okay.
it as an instant on your opponent's turn, which is it sets up like snapbacks, and opt 3 on your opponent's turn is a good thing, and it also gives your next arcane damage +1.
Oh, okay.
So you don't even need a Crucible, and you can still get your hit triggers on Sonic Booms and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Gavin being a little bit friendly and reminding Callum with the Fiendl's counter.
Such a nice player, Gavin.
What a nice player. And then,
I certainly wouldn't have reminded him.
oh, 100%. I know you wouldn't.
So that's a tome being played from Arsenal and Callum's side, and Gav can respond to this with before the draw. So you can leak a lot of damage before Callum draws here.
Okay. We just saw what the top 3 cards were. What do you think of that draw as a Kano player?
I don't know what he's going to use Arsenal. The Forked Lightning could look promising because you've already got the +1 damage off of the Simmering Foresight, so they'll add 2 to Forked Lightning,
Okay.
which is the top card there. But he's also got a Gaze as well.
So, would you be looking
How
at
he has to play this?
trying to put the Scalding Ray to the bottom of the library and then put Forked Lightning second from the top and Gaze at the top? Would you be looking at something like that? Or is that just not worth it?
I'm not sure. You could put Forked at the top because Gavin... This is on Callum's turn, so Gavin could wait until he has his action point because he also has a... what's that card called? Chain Lightning in his hand, so you could definitely get some combos off with the Chain Lightning. Because that allows you... It's pretty much the same as Stir. It lets you play your next wizard as an instant. And it also does 3 damage itself if you've played another wizard card. So you could top deck a card for sure. And he decides to put the Forked and Scalding at the bottom. So he's definitely looking to set up here.
Putting the Gaze on top of the library, most likely trying to go for the opt 2 and then go for the pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much just a free opt 2 because the blue card comes back to your hand.
There it
we
is.
see it.
We see the Gaze being played, allowing him to opt 2.
Oh, that's a nice...
We do see
another tome.
Oh, yeah. He leaves the tome on top.
So he's probably looking to either draw 1 or draw 2 here.
So we do see the... Alright, there it is being played.
Uses Kano's ability, and he chooses to draw 2.
And we do see a Zap, I believe that's what one of the cards are?
Yeah, that's a blue Zap. He's going to be looking to pitch that, either for Kano's ability, maybe even Breaking Storms, but it's a bit early to be destroying your Arcane Barrier here on the Storm Striders.
While that is true, it is a Kano mirror. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Kano can honestly... Gavin can honestly probably kill Callum here with the right setup right now.
Probably not at 27 HP, and Callum still does have 1 card, so if that's a blue card, that's got pretty much 30 HP that he's got to get through. It doesn't look like Gavin has enough setup here. But definitely can leak some damage through to chunk him down to get him to that 1-shot HP threshold.
Oh, for sure. I would have agreed with you about the 27 HP difference, like Callum being on 27 HP. But I versed Gavin's CC Kano deck this same local event, and he did over 30 damage to me in 1 turn.
Yeah,
like
that's a big top deck from Gavin, pitching the blue Zapped and top decking in Aether Flare. That's pretty good. That's going to be able to buff 2 attacks pretty well.
We do see the Chain Lightning being pitched. Crucible into the Aether Flare.
So that's an Aether Flare for 5. That's pretty good value. If Callum doesn't have a blue card in his hand, this could be pretty devastating damage.
Oh, for sure. Alright, we do see the one card from Callum's hand being pitched.
And
Taking
it was
two.
a blue card.
We do
So
see
there's only
another Aether Flare in Gavin's hand, but he chooses to pass.
yeah,
He chooses to let Tome resolve.
yep. So it's a net neutral there. So Callum still has priority.
Yes, it
So
is.
he is the active player at the moment.
Yes.
So he's probably going to be looking to just Arsenal here, maybe. Because he's already used his action point off of the time from Arsenal.
Yeah, he has. I don't think I
Yeah,
got to
no, he's good.
verse Callum's Kano deck at this event. I can't remember, but versing Gavin, he did explain a lot to me about how Kano worked after the event, and it went legit from one ear straight to the other. It was too much information
Straight
at
over
once.
your head.
Straight over my head. Just let me swing and pray it kills. I don't want to do this
So
whole pitch 3 top deck.
So that's a Scalding Rain coming in for 4 plus the 1 damage off of Crucible.
So we do see
Yep,
2
so
damaging
pitch
Lake
3,
too.
take 2, yeah. Both players playing pretty defensive so far. Probably just stacking up the Findles to really get those resources out and hoping to running into a good E-pot and just stacking those resources, trying to get into OTK range.
Because I feel like Kano's early game is slowly just trying to chip them down to what you just said, to the OTK range. But again,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
we'd have to see here. And then we can actually see if Ragamuffins is more valuable over Talismanic Lens.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty interesting difference between the two decks.
Oh,
At least at face value is the choice of headpiece.
I do believe they might be running the same deck. Oh, Gavin being a nice man once again, reminding him of the Fiendals.
He lets him tick up the Fiendals, which is a very nice guy. So that's a Sonic Boom coming in for 4, so there's no way to fully stop that, so
One,
this is interesting.
one is almost guaranteed to go through.
Yeah, it's a free Kano, and it's going to cost 1 less, unless Gav decides not to block. So he blocks 3 here, still going to leak 1 damage through. Callum going to be able to banish the top card, and it's going to cost 1 less if he does decide to banish it.
I believe that was a E-pot that he just
On
revealed.
the top.
Yeah, I believe that was just an E-pot he revealed. I could be wrong because it was a very quick flash. We'll just have to wait and see. So he decides to keep it on top. Pitching a time snap potion. Yeah, I see. Alright, so it wasn't E-pot he left at the top of his library.
Yeah, I think Sonic Boom says Wizard
Yeah,
action.
I believe it is very specific to Wizard.
Yeah, and A-Pot's just a generic action, but that's a good setup card.
Oh,
A-Pot
yeah.
and Findles on 3 ticks, that's a free Kano ability, which can be the difference in
So
some situations.
Gavin choosing to pass priority, allowing Callum to draw up here. Very rare sight for a Kano player.
Yeah, I guess at this high HP, you want to do all of your big actions on your action point, because you have a free action point and then also Kano as well.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
nice.
So we do see him use Crucible here, fumbling a little bit, and sending it right back in the Sonic Boom.
So it's coming in for 4. He's got 1 resource floating because he pitched a red then a blue.
Oh, yep.
Which could be interesting because if he top decks a Voltic Bolt, he's still got 1 resource floating, but let's see what it is. So that's a Chain Lightning.
That seems very big on this turn. Because I'm pretty sure in his arsenal might be a Scalding Rain, if I remember him flicking it up a little bit.
Yeah, it could be. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll find out soon, I guess.
We'll find out soon. So, how much does Chain Lightning cost to play?
I don't know if it's 1 or 2, because I don't run it in my Blitz deck.
Oh, never mind, it wasn't a Scalding Rain.
That's a big turn. So Chain Lightning did 3 and allowed Gav to play his next Wizard as an instant. So he plays Blazing Aether as an instant.
So
that's a pretty good turn.
As Callum, I would be kind of worried around this HP, because Kano can easily go for the OTK here, especially.
Callum not deciding to crack back while Gav has no cards in his hand is a bit questionable because any damage he puts through will be not be able to block. But
Alright, so Callum breaking Epot here, going for the Metacarpus and the Crucible.
he's looking to chunk him out here. Oh, this is interesting. Gav is 1 resource short. Oh, 2 resources short, sorry, for the Stir into Forked combo that he's got in his hand, which is unfortunate.
Is that including the Fiendals he has available?
Yeah, so he's if he had 2 blues or a blue and a yellow, he would be able to break Boots and play Stir for 3 resources, and then Forked Lightning,
We do see the
which
eye
would
being
count him for
pitched.
10
We do see the eye being pitched from Callum, allowing him to opt to Great Fabled.
before the Kano. Yeah, before the Kano trigger.
Yeah. Great Fabled for Kano, especially.
Yeah. And especially if you have a big wallet as well.
Oh,
it
for
helps
sure.
to play Kano.
Or just get lucky, you know?
Yeah.
Just get lucky.
Just crack it.
Just crack it.
Crack it off a stray pack, yeah.
Also, we never mentioned, Callum may or may not have just taken back his Metacarpus and Crucible.
Yeah, I think there was some ordering issues going on there.
Yeah, Callum being the newer player for Kano at least.
Yeah, I'm sure Gav is okay with letting him take it back. Since we've seen 2 counters from the Fiendals being given for free.
Yeah.
So Callum's still got 2 resources floating because he did pitch the eye for Kano. Can't tell what card that is.
Unfortunate
is
lightning.
real.
Unfortunate lightning. Oh, he tries to go for the Ragamuffins, but he has 2
He's
cards
got
in
2
hand.
cards in his.
Oh, surely they move it a little bit more so we can see the card. Ah, it's unfortunate. He just made it worse.
It's most likely a blue pitch.
I'd assume so, yeah, for sure. But as Gavin here, wouldn't you not mind just taking a little bit of damage from this turn? Or do you think Callum could potentially push lethal?
I don't know. Gavin doesn't have an arsenal slot and he can't push lethal here, so the best bet is probably blocking it out.
Okay. So do you not think 11 damage is doable against Callum once he's done his full crackback turn where he's got no cards in hand, where Gavin can then just go ham on him?
If Gavin's Tome of the Aether Wind was a blue card, he definitely has enough lethal, but it's a red card, so he can't pull off the dream combo here. So this is an Aether Flare coming in for 5 damage.
Okay.
This is pretty threatening. This can set up for a big turn because Callum's got a Blazing Aether banished.
Yeah, Gavin
So Gav takes 2. Yep.
opting to just block 3 with the Arcane Barrier.
Yep.
And take 2. We just
Callum
gauge the age is being played from Callum.
from the banished zone, so he's opting 2. And since he's played a wizard card already, which is the Aether Flare, that's going to go back to his hand to set up nicely for another Kano pitch or even his arsenal slot with the option of the Storm Striders there.
Oh yeah.
Trying to push damage so that Blazing Aether gets big value.
In this matchup, do you try not to break the Storm Striders until you push lethal? Or do you just not even try doing a full lethal at this point?
I mean, if you can try and kill him in 1 turn, and since Gavin's already committed to pitching a blue card, it's hard to deal 11 damage with 3 cards as Kano.
Okay.
So,
but we do see...
if you're in Callum's shoes, you should feel comfortable that you're not going to get killed here.
Yeah.
He's committing. So he's broken the Storm Striders, and so that's a Sonic Boom coming in for 6.
Oh, that could be very threatening.
Yeah, so if there's a Forked on top, that's going to be very scary. Because that's Aether Flare gives Sonic Boom +2, and then the Metacarpus gives Sonic Boom +1, so it's 6 damage. And yeah, so if there's a Forked Lightning on top, that will do 4 damage, and I think he has a spare resource on Fiendals, so you can bump that up to 6 if it is a Forked, and then Blazing Aether will wipe him out. We shall see. A red Voltic Bolt, that's a very nice card to see. So that's going to be coming in for 6 as well because of the Metacarpus. This is a massive turn from Callum here.
Does Callum have any floating resources to play the Blazing Aether after this?
Blazing Aether costs 0, so you
Oh,
can play for
does
free.
it? Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's very nice. And you can also use the Fiendel's counter to Metacarpus on Blazing Aether if he wants to,
Oh,
or
yeah.
save it.
So at the moment, Gavin's taken 8 Arcane here. So that would be coming in for another 9 if he does choose to use his Fiendals and Metacarpus here.
It depends if Gav blocks the Voltic Bolt.
Oh, yeah, that could be much more threatening, the Blazing Aether, if he decides to take a bit here. Looking at his hand, he does have a Tome and a Forked Lightning. I wasn't able to see the other card.
It's a red stir. So he takes
another 5.
This is a big turn from Callum. He almost had enough damage to push lethal. If he had used the Fiendal counter to Metacarpus on the Blazing,
he would have gone down to
he'd be at
1.
1.
And then Callum could have gone for the lethal.
Yeah, because, I mean, even at this point, Callum only needs to push 2 arcane damage.
Yeah, so any 5 arcane, if he can push 5 arcane damage, that's just how...
Yeah, it will be lethal. Or even 2 sources of 4.
That's also true, yeah.
Gavin does have a full hand of reds though, so this is going to be pretty hard. He's probably going to want to play the Tome and draw 2 cards. Yeah, there we go. He's going to want to draw 2 cards, but now the priority passes to Callum, so if he can push enough damage, which he should be able to do, this could be game.
If I was in Gavin's shoes, I'd be very terrified with knowing what cards I've left in my hand. Being on 2 HP.
Probably sitting there. Yeah. He knows the worst is coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although Gavin's a nice guy, he deserves to be KO'd at least once. After all those Kano games he's ruined my mental with.
He's got everything coming his way. He has dealt it many times to other people.
Yeah.
So
coming right back to him. This would be a very big upset.
It will be. The experienced Kano player losing to the
Day 1
Kano player. Day 1.
However, that would be pretty funny, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm sure the banter right now is getting pretty heavy. Just some calculation coming from Callum, just so he can secure the win.
Possibly even try going for overkill. I know Callum loves going for overkill.
He probably wants to deal 20 damage plus here, just to really say that he won this game. We'll see what he pulls out.
Alright. Taking his time, even though 2 are there's 2
like
damage.
Like a true Kano player though, you gotta take 20 minutes to think about your turn for it to only miscalculate and deal 1 damage, which I have done many times, so.
Just don't misplay, lol. Just don't misplay.
Yeah, that's pretty valid. Callum has a red snapback. We
see the
Ragamuffins, that's big.
Is this?
It's actually value.
Is the Ragamuffins going to outvalue the Talismanic Lens?
So he's pitched for Kano, and then he's put Ragamuffins on the stack. And he swapped the blue card for a red card. This is big.
I believe that might be a Reverberate?
Yeah, that is a Reverberate, and that's a red one as well.
Oh, this is huge here. Opting to use Crucible here. No questions needed for that one. Into Reverberate for...
So
for how much?
It's coming in for 4.
And he's
blocks 2, and he takes 2 off of the Reverberate. Doesn't even need the snapback. And that will be game 1 going to Callum. Kano winning versus against Kano. Callum still had the Fiembul Spring Tunic counter as well. It didn't even need it.
Yeah, but that's just showing how much value the Ragamuffins actually had near the end of the game.
Yeah, that was game winning. If Gavin still had blue cards in his hand, that Ragamuffins play would have been enough to go over the top.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Gavin going over how some misplays were happening with Callum.
Yeah, it's probably explaining he almost could have won. but
He almost could have won.
almost isn't good enough. Yeah, here we go. He's explaining the stir turn
Yeah.
before if he had another blue card.
Usual Gavin.
If only, if only.
If only. Nah, but everyone here is good mates. Or just for
Yeah.
fun and games.
Yeah, it says explaining the combo there.
Yeah. Nah, but great performance from both players here. Great
Yeah, it
performance.
was a very interesting game. Both players started out slow, and then Callum just, with the heart of the cards,
Oh yeah.
big massive turn,
That one blazing
and
eighth.
Gavin drew into a red hand. Yeah, that was a very big turn.
That was very, very big. If it weren't Gavin's shoes there, would you have just opted to just full block there? Or do you think that's not worth because you would have an empty hand while Callum would have a full card
Yeah.
hand?
Since Callum was the active player and he was using his action point, Callum would have drawn up, and then Gavin would have had no cards in his hand,
Yeah.
and would have only had to done like 8 damage or something like that.
Okay, so no matter what.
Which is pretty easy to do. So yeah, it was a losing position from Gavin. I don't know if he could have played any better, but they both played well.
Yeah, for sure.
But Callum took it away with the win.
Alright. And we'll see you guys in game 2.
Catch you guys.